motivating you to study the literature. Okay, I'm just doing that thing, nothing more than that. I'm motivating this duration of time to make you read the literature. Okay, the literature for the research that we are going to do, some certain topic we have formulated. Okay, so you have to read the literature. Okay. It's okay for you, this slide.
Yeah, sure.
So again, this is also one most important step. Okay, because the keyword that will indicate what we have done uh, on that research. When you search for the literature, you might see below the abstract. Okay, when you search for the article. Okay, when you look for the article, then you might see below the abstract the keywords are listed there. Okay, keywords indicate certain theory, method, or something like that, that will indicate overall gist that has been used on that research. Okay, so for other also it will be easy whether they find their content on that research paper or not. Okay, you have to write in your research. Okay, at final when you write the abstract, you have to write that. This thing you already know. Okay, this thing you already know because as an IT student you are using the search engine most frequently. Yes, since I have taken this reference from TU, from the professor. Okay, where there is not so big use of information technology that you can do. Yes, and other thing you can use the Google hacking tool. Yes, certain thing that has been indexed on particular website. Okay, index on particular website you want the content. Okay, file type and you can write .pdf or so on. Okay, there is certain code that we have to write while searching. Okay, you can use that also so that you can get all the PDF associated, all the PPT or anything like that according to file type or anything you can source. Okay, ensure the materials are available. Okay, so these are the database used for mostly for economics. Okay, economics, and so we can use for our also the science direct, springer leaks, willy online. Okay, these are mostly our information technology related site. Okay. You have to use the authenticate article. Okay, authenticate published article in a journal related to the research topic. The gray literature means not formally published or not valid literature. Okay, if certain paper, okay, certain research that has been accepted by the college, but that is just for marking purpose only. Okay, marking purpose only. So at that time, you should always focus on that validated research which has been accepted as a whole. Okay, not all the research that has been done will publish the research paper. Okay, suppose you have done your project in Internet of Things, you have built a system, IoT based home automation system. Okay, you have perfectly built the system, you have shown the demo, but you have not prepared the report. So at that time, what will happen? Your overall research is completed, but your documentation part is weak. Though you can complete your degree, okay, your research will not be published because you have not prepared the report. You have just prepared for the academic body and not for the other part. Okay, at that time, you might have completed your project based on simulation or based on hardware. Also, you can do that part, but you have not done the report part. Then your paper might not be published. Okay. So another thing is the flexibility. So it is common to modify your topic during the research process, as I have already mentioned you. Okay, when researching, you may not wish to change your topic, but you may decide that some other aspect of the topic is more interesting or manageable. At the time, also you need to change. Keep in mind the assigned length of the research paper project of the other research assignment. You have to focus on that part also, because research is
So,
yes.
so maybe your slide is not moving from step 2.
Step 2.
Yeah.
You step 3 now. Now. Now, can step. Can you see step? Make a list of useful keyword.
Yes, sir.
So that part I am talking already done. And you have to ensure what it is. Okay. You can source from the keywords.pdf.ppt and you can use the Google hacking tool. Okay, simple tool for extracting the file that are associated with different website. Okay, you can do that part. And another is I'm talking is be flexible. Okay, while the flexibility insists that you may not wish to change the topic, but when you do your research, okay, when you do your research, some other aspect of the topic is more interesting or manageable. So in that context, you have flexibility to change the topic, and you should be flexible to change that topic. Okay, and you have to be aware, that is the fourth point, be aware of the depth of coverage needed and due date. Okay, that is the most important part, because within, I've already told you, within this allocated period of time, within this 4 month, how much you can do, you please do that much only. Okay, if you have planned to answer the 5 research questions, and suppose you have come up with the 3 research questions and answer of 3 research questions, so at the time what you need to do, you need to revise, or while submitting the final report, you have to keep only the 3 research question and answer for that 3. Okay, please do not put all 5 questions that you have formulated at the beginning. You can just keep the 3 questions for whom you have found the answer. Okay. Develop a more focused interest, that is the personal interest. Okay, interest, WS question, we always focus on WS question, why, what, that increase the interest within you or not. Okay, suppose you ask certain question within that area or topic. Okay, if you feel it is interesting, then you can select the topic. If it's not interesting, you can move on to next topic. That is this. Research and read more about your topic. Okay, so again, confirming before you have scratch, in scratch you have selected the research topic, and again you have to study more and confirm that research topic. Okay, for that you have to read more on your research topic. This focus on that. Another is formulate the proposal statement. Okay, that is, you have to write a topic as a research statement. Okay, topic as a research statement, example IIT based home automation system or something like that. Okay, and this may be the answer to your research question or a way to clearly state the purpose of your research. Your research statement will usually be 1 or 2 sentences that states precisely what is to be answered, proven, or what you will inform your audience about the topic. Okay, you can write at the research topic. This may is research statement as a topic also, and another thing you need to write is the research question. Okay, you can write in the research questions also. Mostly the research statement indicate the topic, and after that you have to write the research question or problem statement. You can write on the problem statement also. We have not come to that part because it mainly covered by the research question. Okay, most of the part is covered by the research question that will indicate the overall problem of that we are going to solve through your research, the purpose of the research, and so on. Okay, the development of the research assume there is the sufficient evidence to support the research statement. Okay, so the statement that we have formulated, what we are going to do, we are going to do collect the evidence to support our statement. Okay, suppose I have chosen a research statement that is Internet of Things based home automation system. So I have to build a system, I have to show the system or simulate a system whether the IoT device can be used to control the different appliances in a home. Yes, I'm going to build that system, so that will support my research statement. Okay, write down the source topic in a single sentence from the preliminary idea and list the keyword or phrase to describe the research interest. That in the final part. Okay, in final abstract you have to write that. So title summarizes the main idea of the study. The good title contains the fewest possible words that adequately describe the content and the purpose of your research paper. Indicate accurately the subject and scope of your study. Avoid using abbreviation. Okay, IoT means Internet of Things based, and bracket you have to write full form. Okay, because you know about IoT, but other reader who does not have the knowledge about the information technology, or which who are not in the field of IT, okay, they might not be aware of that abbreviation. Okay, you have to avoid that abbreviation. You have to write the full form if in case of IIT. Okay, keep it simple, brief, and attractive. Use words that create a positive impression and stimulate the reader interest. Okay, something that will interest the reader. Okay, we need to formulate our title in that way also. Title are usually in the form of phrase but can also be in the form of questions. This is mostly questions are mostly in terms we do not practice. Okay, in information technology IT sector we do not practice a certain question, but in social science mean where we do the survey or ethnographic study. Okay, when we study the certain group of population, then at that time the question will be used. Okay, so but you have flexibility, you can use the phrase, you can use the questions within that phrase. Okay, do not include study of or similar construct, because study of is the continuous study of IoT devices on home automation. So that study is the continuous process. Okay, research is the time limited task, time bound. Okay, study is the continuous process. From beginning you are doing your study. Yes, so study is the continuous process, whether it is formal, whether it is informal. So we do practice not to write study of in our context also. Okay, because in higher level in this context it might be acceptable, but when you do your bachelor final year project or masters, then the term study is not so greatly used in our context. Okay, and another thing that might be restricted by the university also. Okay, there might be certain keyword that need not be used in your research, that might be restricted by your university also. Okay, but our Pearson has not restrict this study of using. Okay, he has not it has not told us that student cannot use study of or a similar construct while writing their title. Okay, but also it is good practice not to use. Okay, avoid unnecessary word. A bit explanatory type of title is not written. Okay, long title that cannot be understood, or some word which does not have any meaning on the title need to be avoided. Okay, the title should clearly and succinctly summarize the intended study. Make sure your title is between 5 to 15 words in length. The title should be self-explanatory, precise, reflecting the depth and breadth of the theme. Okay, the title should be self-explanatory, precise, reflecting the depth and breadth of the theme. So how the title at the beginning, okay, you might worry the title that I have selected might not fulfill this criteria. No need to worry about that. Okay, no need to worry about that. Please study the further part of that research. But one thing you need to be clear: what you are going to do in your research. You should be clear what you are trying to find in your research, or whether you are going to build a system, whether you are going to study the system, or just study the opportunity, study the challenges, or study the application, or something like that. In any perspective you can study or do your research. Yes, so after that part the title will be refined, and when you refine that title it should meet this criteria. Okay, when we have done your title research, when you analyze the data and conclusion you have drawn, okay, at that time the title again can be revised. Yes, so that overall research will be reflected on that title. Understand my point? Student does not do that. Okay, no, often they do not revise their title, and they forcefully keep the title that have selected at the beginning of their research. Okay, suppose I say your title is good, you can do your research. As a researcher you know more than me. Yes, because you have done the literature on that particular topic, you have studied the method, you have studied the technique and so on. So it is best to use your judgment, use your own judgment, whether the title represent my work or not. Okay, if it represent, it's okay. If it does not represent, you have the flexibility. You have the flexibility. Though I said okay, this title is good, it can go, I check against the theme provided. Okay, your title that you have selected, whether it meet the requirement of the theme provided by Pearson or not. I only check on that way. I cannot check whether the research title is feasible or not, or flexible. Whether you are capable to that research or not. It is your point of view. Okay, if you can, you should start. If you cannot, you should not. That is your judgment. Okay, you have to use your own decision. So turning research idea into research project, writing the research question. Okay, one of the key criteria. This part we have already studied in a study classes. Okay, so writing the research question. Anything on that part? Now moving on to the research objective. Okay, research question you can do. Yes. Any problem regarding the research question?
No, sir.
Okay. Please practice writing the research question of your research title. Okay, and after that also we'll discuss, and you will have the idea how to write the research question and so on. Okay. So while writing the research question, I've already told you that is the pitfall. Okay, there might be the certain trap. Okay, you might see this is possible that I can do, but lack of study will indicate lack of study. If you study less on that particular research question or on method or other literature, that will act as a failure point for your research. Okay, you should be sure. So while writing the research question, you only write that questions which you are able to do. Okay, that again you can revise this. So writing the objective, which is more generally acceptable to the research community as the evidence of the researcher clear sense of purpose and direction. That is the research aim we have studied. Okay, and objective by means, which which objective are simply the breakdown of the research aim. Okay, so that you are going to achieve that aim in certain context, step by step procedure, so that overall research objective, okay, and over the overall research aim will be fulfilled. So that you need to do. Okay, so here is the, you might see the, here is the term hypothesis. We have not practiced to use the hypothesis, yes, in our context, because our assignment and assignment guidelines also focus on the research question. Okay, research question and hypothesis, somebody says that these are the two part. For beginner it is always to use the research question. Okay, you can use the hypothesis also, that is the statement, whether you are proving the theory or disproving a theory, you can use the hypothesis. Okay, if you are clear on your research. If you are not clear on your research, you simply formulate the research question. Okay, that is the thing. So writing the research proposal. Okay, that part will come further. Up to this point, if you have any questions, please let me know.
No, sir.
Okay, so writing the research proposal come after. Okay, this is the content. So can you please note down this structure? Okay. This is the structure of your research proposal. This is the structure of your research proposal. Okay. Parallelly, what you need to do, first you need to choose your title, and then you need to submit the ethical form. Okay, then you have to prepare the proposal, you have to prepare the presentation. So for preparation of the research proposal, the content of the research proposal are indicated here. Okay. And when you say chapter 1 introduction, then you can write 1.1 background, 1.2 problem statement, 1.3 research questions, 1.4 research aim, 1.5 research objective, 1.6 rationale for your study or significance of your study. If limitation, you can include the limitation also if any at the final report. Mostly the limitation are written at the final report, but if you are clear on certain aspect of the research, you can state that limitation at the proposal also. Okay, and in second chapter you have to write reason for choosing this project. So what thing motivate you to choose this project? We have already discussed that part. Yes, what thing? It might be suppose it there are different things that you can write for choosing this project. One of those is the requirement of our college. Yes, because you cannot choose other field of area rather than Internet of Things. So you are compelled to choose on that particular topic. Another is certain thing that interests you of that topic. Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
So are we in slide number 25?
You can. Are you seeing the content of the research proposal? Are you able to see the content?
No, maybe. No, sir.
Now, writing research proposal. Writing your research proposal. No.
We are seeing it.
Yes, sir. You are writing a proposal.
Mm.
Slide
Yeah.
number 20.
Proposal. Okay. Okay, what happened? The slide is not moving. So
Slide
writing
number
your
25.
slide number 26.
25. Good.
25. I'm on 26. Okay, this is 25. Then I'll share again.
So we are seeing number 25.
Okay, so I'm sharing 26. Okay. Now, okay, can you see? Can you see?
Yes, sir. We
Yes,
are on
sir.
slide 26.
26. Okay. So the purpose of the research proposal, the content of the research proposal. Okay. Please copy this. You can take a photo of this research proposal. It needs more. Okay. यो हामीलाई एकदमै धेरै चाहिन्छ स्ट्रक्चर बिर्सिन सक्छ यो चाहिँ तपाईले एउटा फोटो खिचेर राख्नु होला किनभने स्लाइड त मैले अपलोड गरिदिन्छु तर स्लाइडमा कहाँनिर हो भनेर खोज्न एकदम गाह्रो भइरहन्छ के त्यो भएपछि तपाईलाई यति स्ट्रक्चरमा प्रपोजल लेख्नु हो भने इनफ दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चर अफ योर रिसर्च प्रपोजल हामीले के मात्र पढिरहेछौँ अहिले रिसर्चको क्वेशन्स एम्स अब्जेक्टिभ हैन प्रब्लम स्टेटमेन्टको पार्ट अलिअलि पढ्छौँ ब्याकग्राउन्डहरु हामीले पढेको छैनौँ किनभनेदेखि research question aims and objective are the creative process that you should do by yourself त्यसको लागि चाहिँ तपाई आफैले जाग्नु पर्यो आफैले गर्नु पर्यो ब्याकग्राउन्ड भनेको के भन्दाखेरि you can take the references from other literature अरुको लिटरेचरबाट ल्याएर मैले साइटेसन गरेर नि त्यो ब्याकग्राउन्ड चाहिँ बनाउन सक्छु के that is not so creative process है त्यही भएर हामीले क्रिएटिभ प्रोसेस रिसर्चको क्रिएटिभ प्रोसेसहरुलाई मात्रै फोकस गर्छौँ। जस्तै रिभ्यू अफ द रिलेटेड लिटरेचर रिभ्यू गर्ने मेथडहरू छ, टेक्निकहरू छ। सबै लिटरेचर कलेक्ट गरे अनि सबैलाई पढ्न थाल्यो भनेदेखि त 3 महिनामा नै सकिँदैन पढेर, हैन? So there are certain steps that you need to follow while reviewing the related literature. So that is also the creative process. Certain notes you have to make, okay? Certain literature has to be classified and you have to look for certain aspect of the literature only. So there are certain steps that you need to follow while reviewing the literature. Okay, that is also the creative process. Again, we study about the method. Methodology also creative process, because there is no any specific pathway, as we already seen on previous slide also. There is no any one single method for all research. Okay, there is different method for different research. So that is also the creative process. For your research, you have to select your own method. For your research, you have to select. You have to. Okay, we study the different example or different method, but which method, which step is suitable for your research, you have to select accordingly. Okay, and other part for proposal, other part is not so creative one. So we mainly focus on this research questions, aims and objective, methodology, okay, in this proposal session. So have you copied this structure of research proposal?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So moving on to the introduction, okay, that part I will not study in this session. Okay, while the proposal part, again we will move on this slide. Okay, on this slide. So there are certain things that we need to do. Moving on to the introduction part. Okay, so writing, I need to write one statement of problem first. Okay, moving on to the introduction part, I need to show this to you. In statement of the problem. Okay, the research problem provide the answer of why this study is needed. Okay, the research gaps should be identified. Without knowing existing knowledge and understanding, it will not be possible to justify why the research problem being proposed are important and relevant. The difference between the existing knowledge on a specific issue and the viewpoint of the researcher offers the research gap. So what indicates the statement of problem? It indicates the knowledge gap or research gap on the previous study. Okay, so you are doing the research to fulfill that gap. That is the main point of problem statement. When you study the project, what is problem statement? Problem statement indicate where we are now and where we want to be. That is the problem statement. In our research, what is the problem statement? It is the research gap. That means what the previous researcher does not have, your research should have. Yes, that is the statement of problem in the context of research. Okay, it is also called literature gap. It is also called research gap. It is also called knowledge gap. Whatever it is the gap analysis. Okay, what you are going to fulfill in your research should indicate certain improvement over the previous literature. So you write in terms of statement. So while writing the statement of problem, you can take the reference. यो लेख्दाखेरि चाहिँ रेफरेन्स लिन मिल्छ। पहिलाको लिटरेचरहरुमा के फाइन्डिङ्स भएको थियो हैन, तिनीहरुले के प्रब्लमलाई चाहिँ सर्ट आउट गर्न सक्यो, के मात्रैमा स्टडी गरे र यो रिसर्चले चाहिँ के कुरालाई फोकस गरिरहेछ, कुन चाहिँ ग्यापलाई फुलफिल गर्न खोजिरहेछ भन्ने कुराको इन्डिकेसन चाहिँ स्टेटमेन्ट अफ प्रब्लमले, त्यो कुन चाहिँ प्रब्लम हो भन्ने कुरा। अनि त्यो प्रब्लमको इलाबोरेटेड फर्म भनेको रिसर्च क्वेशनमा के गर्ने त, अब त्यो प्रब्लमलाई फुलफिल गर्न के एन्सर आइडेन्टिफाई गर्ने। त्यो एन्सरको पार्टमा गएपछि हामी एम के हो त, उसी भए हाम्रो त्यो सल्भ गर्नुको एम के हो हैन, त्यो एमलाई कसरी फुलफिल गर्ने भने फेरि अब्जेक्टिभलाई ब्रेकडाउन गर्ने, कुन टास्कहरु हामीले फुलफिल गर्नु पर्यो त ओभरअल हाम्रो एम फुलफिल गर्नलाई। एम फुलफिल भइसकेपछि हाम्रो रिसर्च क्वेशनलाई एन्सर हुन्छ। रिसर्च क्वेशनलाई एन्सर हुनुको भनेको त्यो ग्यापलाई फुलफिल हुन्छ, त्यही कुरालाई इन्डिकेट गर्छ र रिलेट मात्रै हो, सबै कुरा रिलेटेड छ, अलिअलि इलाबोरेटेड फर्ममा मात्रै जानु पर्यो कि। आजलाई चाहिँ मैले यहाँ प्रब्लम स्टेटमेन्ट सम्मै गरौँ जस्तो लाग्यो है, अनि फेरि हामी मन्डे कन्टिन्यू गरौँला। अनि एउटा असाइनमेन्ट मैले तपाईहरुलाई दिएको थिएँ टाइटलको केसमा है, मन्डे चाहिँ तपाईहरुको असाइनमेन्ट डिस्कसन हुन्छ है, किनभने तपाईहरुले रिसर्चको टाइटल, रिसर्चको क्वेशन्स, रिसर्चको एम र रिसर्चको अब्जेक्टिभ क्लियर गर्न सक्नु भने तपाईले प्रपोजलमा पनि देख्नुभयो। मैले किन त्यसलाई त्यति धेरै फोकस गरेँ, इट इज द क्रिएटिभ प्रोसेस। त्यो एउटा स्टेपबाट हुने कुरै हैन, त्यसलाई रिफाइनमेन्ट चाहिरहन्छ के, इम्प्रुभमेन्ट चाहिरहन्छ है अहिले एक लेभलको बनाएर तपाईलाई क्ल्यारिटी भएपछि एक्जिक्युट गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ हैन अहिलेको एक लेभललाई बनाएपछि एक्जिक्युट गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ दो इट माइट निड सम रिफाइनमेन्ट व्हेन यु एक्जिक्युट गर्दाखेरि नि तपाईलाई त्यो रिसर्च अब्जेक्टिभ एम्स अथवा क्वेसनलाई रिभाइज गर्नुपर्ने होला त्यो भए पनि के हुन्छ भने अहिलेको स्टेजसम्म चाहिँ क्लियर बनाऊ भन्ने मात्रै कुरा है एज अ रिसर्चर यु हेभ टु बी क्लियर तपाईँ आफू क्लियर हुनुपर्छ के इट इज योर जब एन्ड इट इज योर जब द्याट यु सुड बी क्लियर एन्ड इट इज योर जब टु मेक अदर क्लियर हैन तपाईको आफ्नो इन्टेन्डेड अडियन्सलाई पनि त्यो क्ल्यारिटी दिने काम तपाईको आफ्नै हो त्यो भनेको तपाईको कहाँबाट आउँछ भने द स्किल्स द्याट यु क्यान अब्टेन फ्रम स्टडिङ द अदर लिटरेचर त्यो अरू लिटरेचरहरूलाई स्टडी गर्ने नै हो अहिले ऱ्यान्डमली स्टडी गर्दै गर्ने आफ्नो हिसाबले एन्ड वेन वी मुभ अन टु द स्टडी अफ द रिलेटेड लिटरेचर देयर आर 3 वेज वी क्यान रिभ्यू द लिटरेचर हैन तीनटा वेबाट रिभ्यू गर्न सकिन्छ एउटा भनेको थीमेटिक रिभ्यू अर्को भनेको इम्पेरिकल रिभ्यू अर्को भनेको थ्योरिटिकल रिभ्यू हैन एउटा रिसर्च पेपरलाई तपाईले तीनटा तरिकाले हेर्न मिल्छ के थीमेटिक इम्पेरिकल र थ्योरिटिकल हैन तीनटा तरिकाले हामीले एउटा लिटरेचरलाई हेर्न सक्छौं कुनलाई केले हेर्ने भन्ने कुरा तपाईले पहिला जज गर्नु पर्यो मेरो रिसर्चसँग कुन एस्पेक्टबाट रिलेट छ कुन लिटरेचर कुन एस्पेक्टबाट रिलेट छ थ्योरीसँग रिलेट भयो कि थीमसँग रिलेट भयो कि थीम भनेको फाइन्ड मेथड देखि लिएर सबै कुरा हैन इम्पेरिकल भनेको फाइन्डिङ्स तपाईले अरु रिसर्चको फाइन्डिङ्सलाई मात्र युज गर्ने हो कि अरु रिसर्चको थ्योरीलाई मात्र युज गर्ने कि अरु रिसर्चको मेथडलाई मात्र युज गर्ने है त्यो कुरा चाहिँ आफू क्लियर हुनुपर्छ है त्यो वेमा हामी के गर्छौं लिटरेचर रिभ्यू गर्छौं त्यो पार्ट नै हामी फर्दर आउँला सो इफ यु हेभ एनी क्वेशन्स प्लिज आस्क मी अदरवाइज we'll end our class here and we'll continue on Monday. So when you come to Monday, then you have to complete your assignment. Okay, you have to be clear on your research topic, or you can have more than one research topic. Okay, you can have more than one research topic, more than one research question, and more than one objective. Okay, and we'll discuss that part to refine your research question, research topic, and research objective. Okay. Okay, so Megant.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll end our class and we'll meet on Monday.
Okay, so
Thank you, sir.